Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis, and breaking scoreboards. Simone of the Olympics, defense and big business. The Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the 3 in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bale in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
Yo, DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple platforms. Okay, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Twitter, you know how we do. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel. Like, subscribe, share, follow. When you get in there, you will see Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly. Make sure y'all do the same. You know how this go, man. It's the end of week 6. You know what I'm saying? Week 6 in the books. It was a very, very, very interesting week. Because there was a lot of upsets this week, okay? Like, I ain't gonna even hold you. Upset game crazy this week, all right? Philly go down. Buffalo go down. Commanders go down. The Chargers in Miami had a heck of a game, okay? That game was crazy. I'm not gonna even lie. Very entertaining, very interesting. It is a pleasure to have y'all here. All right, because we do got a lot to discuss. As we all know, if you're a Cleveland fan, you upset because the Browns disappointed as usual. And it's not okay to be saying they upset as usual, and just to make it sound like it's okay for them to just be not performing how they supposed to be performing. But again, it's a process. You know, nothing happens overnight. You know, and as I told some of my people on Twitter, all right, 6 years cannot erase 60 years of inconsistency in attitude. Okay, it just cannot. All right, there's a lot of people that people want to blame for this, that, and the third. Oh, Stefanski and his play calling. Oh, Andrew Berry can't get he ain't getting the right players in. Oh, it's just a lot of unnecessary blaming going on. And me personally, I just feel like the blame gotta start with the players on the field. Okay. I don't know how to go about this in any other way. Okay. It has to start with the players on the field. You're the one representing the team on the field. You're wearing the jersey. You're outside. All right. So to blame the coach for things that the players have a direct control over blows my mind. All right. My homie, I was on his podcast yesterday. Shout out to the JO show unedited. And I wasn't on, but I was just in the comments and all that. And my thing about the situation, because he was saying, hey, it starts at the top, right? Okay, we can do the it starts at the top.
Hold up. Before you get that, when you say, yeah, I blame the players too. But at the same damn time, bruh, You not gonna keep getting these chances, bro. You not gonna keep getting these. I don't care if you're Miles Garrett, anybody, but Miles been doing this damn thing. But anybody, nigga, Jerry Judy, I'm gonna make an example out of you. You about to be benched, bro. I don't care how much money I'm paying you, bro. I'm gonna make an example. This is not the standard on this team, and I don't give a fuck how much money you get because my job is on the line, bro. And that's with anything. You know what I'm saying? If I'm at the top, man, I'm not gonna pick DeeTrynt, and if DeeTrynt ain't holding it down or this person not holding it down and doing what they're doing, listen, they can't be here. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna hold you though, bruh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's somebody else that might want this spot more than you right now. You know what I'm saying? That's like, and I gotta try. Like, it's like he ain't even like he ain't holding none of them niggas accountable enough right now. You know what I'm saying? Off top, Judy should have been. Listen, Judy should have been benched. Let's see do one of y'all little niggas want this spot, and maybe Judy might come back. You know what I'm saying, and hold it down. You know what I'm saying. Now you see, like, all right, man, I really got to get it together. I'm gonna go get me some stickum and put them on my hands, and I'm gonna hit this jug machine at the same time more. Like, you know what I'm saying. Like, he gotta. It's the players, yeah, but at the same time, he gotta put his foot down, let it be known, like, bro, this is not the standard. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm about to send you something that I got. And I love Twitter. I love Twitter. Okay.
Twitter is shit.
Shout out shout out to CDK. Let me shout out my boy CDK because that's my guy.
Hey,
He
CDK,
say,
was supposed to come
you know
through
you
there.
could come up, bro. Like you know you could come up, right? You come on, man. So CDK say who puts the players on the field and gives them the schemes and things to execute. Okay. Steve Smith told us about 3 years ago. So
Hold on, hey, hold on.
let's start. Go ahead.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead,
I
bro.
can't even see myself. I don't even know if I was on the damn screen. You said
You
you
not
sent
on
it.
the screen. Your voice on the screen. I'm sending you a video from Twitter.
Where you
I
send it
don't.
to? Not my phone. Don't send it
I
to my
said
phone.
no. I sent it to your inbox, a Facebook inbox.
It's a bet.
Okay, yeah. So that way you can put it on the screen when we get to that point. I'm pretty sure you can show that. Okay. So let's start with the first thing. Russ say who's in charge of putting the players on the field. Okay. Now in any normal organization, and we all know Cleveland is not a normal organization. Okay. In any normal regular organization, the coach picks who plays. But we know from history in Cleveland that's not how it works. I don't care how you try to slice the pie. That's not how it works. Jimmy chooses who plays because Jimmy writes the checks. And I don't care what position you in, CEO or whatever the case, you're not going to argue with the person who signs your check. If he say this is how it's going to go, what you think going to happen? That's
They
how it's going
all
to go.
Jimmy, the only Jimmy force. We know who the Jimmy force. He already admitted it was that Watson. But what's going on with the rest? Like, bro, you know, Jimmy, like, bro,
That is a so listen, right? First off, we all know Jimmy did not be all the way truthful all the time. Jimmy, it ain't never been a time in Jimmy's history as the Browns owner that he didn't sign a check for somebody and didn't make it known that that person has to play. Now, what Jimmy signed up for Deshaun Watson was I forced them to trade for Watson. That's what he's taking the onus of. Us getting Deshaun Watson in the building was my push. There's nothing wrong with him saying that. I'm glad he's being honest. He also came out and said Shador Sanders was not my choice at quarterback. And I believe him. Okay? So, again, though, by just the Deshaun Watson admittance, this confirms things that we've already been talking about over the years. When Jimmy say he wants somebody to play, ain't nothing you could do. Let's add another more.
But who is that player that you saying, Jimmy?
All right, hold on, wait, because you think what I'm about to get at is just one player. What I need people to understand is when I'm explaining stuff, my foundational point is an overall view. I want to give everybody my overall view on the situation, and then we can talk specifics. So if you're looking for me to give you specifics in my initial talk, then you're not going to get it there. I'm going to give you an overview, and then we can talk about specifics. This is how I operate. If y'all don't know, I'm telling you now, this is how I operate. Okay. So this is my overall view. Okay. The way that the Browns are set up now is not like a regular franchise. And it's been set up this way since the Hugh Jackson and Sashi debacle. Okay. The head coach of the team, if you wonder why is the head coach a offensive guy who's used to playing calling the plays? That's because that's what Jimmy pays him to do. Jimmy don't pay Kevin Stefanski to be a regular, usual head coach. He pays him to run his specialty. You run the offense and you call the plays. All the staff up under you, all I pay them to do is to help you call the plays on Sunday. Okay? That's the first thing. So when people say, "Oh, Jim Schwartz," why he don't say nothing to Schwartz about? Because he don't got no say so over the defense. Jim Schwartz does, and Jim Schwartz don't necessarily report directly to Kevin Stefanski, even though in hierarchy that's his superior. He reports to Andrew Berry. And if you wonder why the special teams don't get no, it's the same way with the special teams. Why is it like that? Because when Sashi and Hugh was here, and then Dorsey came with Hugh and Ty Haley, they ran such a dysfunctional situation that Jimmy Haslam broke it down to a professional situation. If you don't know how business works, this is how business works. There's a level of hierarchy.
Oh, yeah,
This guy,
that was Cut Neck City when them boys was in here.
exactly. So Jimmy never changed it. So for everybody who thinks it's something different, it's not. It's not. And guess what? When a person hires you to do a specific job, it don't matter what everybody else got to say. Because the person who signed your checks call the shots. Now, we may think it's unfair, and we know that's not regular football, but what does our opinion matter? Nothing. Okay? So I'm not exonerating Kevin, but context matters. Why Kevin don't give up the play calling? Because it ain't his job to give up the play calling. He don't call the shots whether he can give it up or not. The owner does. So if you're mad at somebody, be mad at Jimmy. All right? And I'm gonna see y'all calling out Jimmy the way y'all should be. Secondly, Andrew Berry don't report to Jimmy. He reports to D. Podesta. D. Podesta, that's the problem, right? Thank you for that's the problem. D. Podesta has been with Jimmy since 2013, 2014. This is the guy who relays the messages to everybody else while Jimmy does what he does. So if you're mad at a guy who's at the top, not doing things correctly as far as staff, D. Podesta is the guy that you should be mad at. Okay? Hold on, CDK. Who calls the dinks and doinks? Hold on. Let me listen. I'm about to get to y'all. Let me finish my overall point for y'all get to trying to dive in. Because when y'all do that, then you stray other people who listening from what needs to be going on. So we're going to get to y'all in a second. We got time. I got time today. All right. So D. Podesta is the overall guy. D. Podesta is the analytics guy that reports to Jimmy, and Jimmy goes off his reports to say such and such a blase. Now, Andrew Berry might got some conversations in there. Kevin Stefanski got some conversations in there. But a lot of those conversations are, you cool? What you don't like? Okay, you don't like? I'm going to take that into consideration. I'm going to go back to D. Podesta. We're going to holler at it. It don't matter if y'all don't like it. That's how it works. You can't change something to fit your narrative so you can be comfortable with it. You have to go off the facts that are in front of you. And if anybody can bring me anything that says differently from what I just told you, I'm open to it. But since I've already done my kind of research, I know this how this works. Okay? Boom. But I'm always open to new facts. I'm always open to new facts. Okay? So now that we got a who calls what in here, all right? People say Kevin calls shitty plays. Holy, can you bring up that video I just sent you? I'm just using this to set the stage for the things that I'm about to say. Okay, Demetrius says, so who is Shador? Who picked Shador? Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry picked Shador. Kevin Stefanski wanted Dylan Gabriel, and Jimmy Haslam wanted Joe Flacco. There's nothing wrong with them saying that. You know why? Because the Browns haven't had a steady guy at the position in 40 tries. So there's nothing wrong with each person bringing in their guy to compete for the job. There's nothing wrong with that. Anybody who thinks it is something wrong with that, there's something wrong with you. Because there's no logic to you being opposed to that. No logic, okay? People will say, oh, Shador played so well in his first preseason game. Why didn't he get the shot? And this is what I say. This is my now when I say this, this is my personal opinion. Okay. Shador physically, in my opinion, physically isn't ready. All right. And to me, on top of that, I think he is the franchise guy. I go off track record of saying Aaron Rodgers sat, Jordan Love sat, Brett Favre sat, um, who was that?
And I do not want him playing like, bruh, with these boys right now. Like, bruh, he'll get in there, man, even if they catch the ball and all that shit, then they're going to be talking crazy. That's what they want. They want that's what the national media, that's what people don't understand. The national media want the Browns to force him in there. They want the Browns to force him in there. Barry, like, I ain't going to let y'all fuck up my young boy. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to him, bro.
Just throw him in there. Like, if he get in there, he do what he do, but I ain't about to let y'all fuck up my young boy.
I ain't about to let y'all mess up my young boy like that for what? Now, I'm just again, this is just my personal, this is my personal statement about this, right? Hold on, CDK. I'm about to get to yo. Let me catch y'all up on the comments that I'm seeing that's making me do this, okay? Demetrius says Kevin shouldn't call plays and start Shador. The season is not lost. Okay? Hold on, Demetrius. I'm gonna get to you on that one. Call. I understand that you said call. He said so Shador. So is Shador? So who picked Shador? I'm assuming that's what that conversation was. Then CDK say I can. Kevin needs to go, bruh. And he said, so you're blaming D Podesta. I've been blaming D Podesta, bro. If you don't know CDK, I've been blaming D Podesta for 5 years. I just want you to understand. I've been blaming him. I've been said he had to go. This is not a new statement from me, and I have 100 plus episodes of this podcast. You can go back and find it multiple times. I've been said D Podesta gotta go. All right. Demetrius says I think he is, and he then asked us, and then CDK say, but Gabriel built. Okay, let me get into this.
Just let you
CDK
know.
in the house.
Diva in the house. I got her on the screen.
Oh, what? Hey, what's up, girl? What's poppin'?
What up?
So,
I'm sorry, I've been at work all day.
you
It's been
supposed to get
crazy.
that money, girl. You supposed to get that paper. Oh, go ahead and introduce
Right.
yourself. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the crowd so they know what's going on.
Oh, hey y'all. I'm Nat or the Sports Diva on all platforms. The Sports Diva 42 on Instagram. And of course I'm from the 216, Big Cleveland, all day, everything, every day. And that's just that. So go Browns.
Type time, type time. Okay, so so I'm just giving them an overall set the stage so we can get into the specifics of what everybody talk about when they say who to blame. And I had these kind of talks with you last night about how the
Hmm.
hierarchy go, what Kevin role is, what everybody else role is. That's where I was just finishing up with them. All right. So now
Hmm.
But
I went. Go ahead, bro.
you
You was about to say something?
you was already down to them the comments, the
Right.
blame. That's it. And the bill. You gotta let them. You gotta break it down with when he No, we ain't talking about Gabriel built for this shit. It's what
No.
he
Yeah.
wants Shador to
Well.
be ready and have that
Right.
body. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to throw him out there and get smashed, and these niggas ain't even playing right now. If he had a Jamar chasing somebody out there, oh yeah, let's get him in there.
It'll be
But these
different.
boys ain't even catching the ball and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Falling and come on, like bro, we ain't trying to rush, and that's what the media, the national media is trying. They want Browns to ruin this boy, man.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They
Mm-hmm.
want to ruin this boy. Like, bruh. And Shador ain't out here complaining. He out here having the time of his life with like he want to get in, but man, listen, bro. If somebody was out here complaining, he won't be doing the things he's doing in the city and in his community, bro.
Say it again.
Correct.
Say it again. Say
Yeah,
And he's
it again.
actually
I'm about to let
like,
you know. I'll be back though. Hold it down.
Hurt.
yeah, and he's actually, he has the headset on. He's taking notes mentally. I can easily tell. He's, enjoying the fact that he's even, to me, in the NFL, to be honest with you. And I don't think it would be fair for them to put him out there just like, oh, okay, by the way, here, you're the last resort type shit. Like, I don't like that for him. I don't like that for people to just like rush this young man into a situation where it can easily be a negative situation. So I think what's going on right now is what needs to go on. Yeah, we can blame this person, blame that person, point fingers, but at the end of the day, it would not be fair to just throw Shador in, in a game and yeah, we don't know what would happen, but I just don't think it would be fair for him. It's so much weight, it's so many critical situations you can put him in and stuff, and I just think everything is lined up like it should be lined up at this point.
Say that. So CDK say, and that's Ashton. Ashton. He say. So Dart is ready. Stop protecting losses and losing culture. See, the comparison is the thief of joy, and that's half the Cleveland Browns problem, right? People
Mhm.
want to compare what's going on everywhere else to Cleveland, and Cleveland ain't like everywhere else. Y'all gotta have to stop having selective criterias, okay? The way that they run stuff in a New York State is not the way they run stuff in Ohio State. And we all know this from experience. And if you don't know it from experience, let me tell you. The way they run it in California ain't the same way they run it in Ohio. The same way they run it in Texas ain't the same way they run it in Ohio. It don't matter that it's football. It don't
Hey,
matter that it's football. Everybody runs their stuff the same. The
hey,
environment. Go ahead, bro.
I'm about to let you because I just walked in on them, like I said. But listen, just how they run shit. You got one time to get booed, and listen, it's the boo factor. You get booed in them cities he just named, and like, oh yeah, hot seat. You get on the hot seat instantly, bruh. Instantly.
But
Facts.
that ain't how it work in Cleveland. It ain't never worked like that in Cleveland. You can't find a time in Cleveland history that it didn't work like that. So let's stop, right? Another thing I'm gonna add, and because I feel like Cleveland fans are impatient. How we impatient if they ain't never been shit? So how you gonna expect good out of something that ain't never been good? Make the logic make sense. You ain't never seen a winning culture in Cleveland to tell me how long it takes to get a winning culture. Now you can say over here it seemed like it didn't take them that long, but over there they don't have the circumstances that we have in Cleveland. And people don't always consider everything that goes on. When people start to say why we can't get big names, the first thing I say is name me somebody who ever got 100 million, 200 million, $300 million and said, I want to move my family to Cleveland. Name me one. Just one. Name me one. I know you can't. Don't worry. I'll wait. We're gonna keep it pushing, right? So quit trying to compare what everybody else do to what Cleveland do. Hold Cleveland regime responsible for what they've done. All right, bruh, Hooley, I need you to play before I get into the specifics of this player and that player. I need you to play that video that I sent you. I need you to play that because people keep talking about Kevin's play calling, and I can't agree that the play calling is shitty. I just cannot. Why? Because every game that y'all complain about shitty play calls, I could pull up 10 to 12 play calls that should have been touchdowns. So if it was all about the play calling, I would never be able to go on the film and say, oh, Brian from here. Brian and Watson did. Brian from here. Watson got traded here. Name somebody else. Spider got traded here too. Mobley was drafted. Oh, play the video. Play the sound too. Play the whole sound. Play the whole thing. I appreciate that. This is a clip from Twitter from one of my homies who like doing the film stuff. I just want y'all to see this.
Let's look at the top 5 worst throws of week 6. And as an honorable mention, I got Dylan Gabriel for this throw off Isaiah Bond's head. He's facing an all-out blitz here, and it's honestly not even his fault because he has to get the ball out quick, but it was just a funny play. And for the next honorable mention, I got the Browns QB Dylan Gabriel. He has a little window right here to get it to Hannon, but instead he scrambles out the pocket and gets hit for an incompletion. And for my last honorable mention, I got the rookie out of Oregon, Dylan Gabriel. Isaiah Bond runs this nice out and in route that gets him open, and Gabriel has a clean pocket to step up and make this throw, but somehow throws it behind him for an incompletion. And now for the real list. At number 5, I got the signal caller for the Browns, Dylan Gabriel. He throws this rare deep ball to Jerry Jeudy that almost gets picked, and he decided to throw a back shoulder fade, but he should have threw it in the back of the end zone to give Jeudy a better chance to make a play on the ball. And at number 4, I got the rookie QB for the Browns, Dylan Gabriel. He does a good job of looking off the safety
it's
and has
more.
a wide open Hannon on this deep dig route, but instead he decides to check it off to his tight end for no gain. And at number 3, I got the 3rd round pick for the Browns, Dylan Gabriel. He scrambles out of the pocket and Jeudy does a good job of going upfield to get open, but instead he throws him out of bounds, which should have been a touchdown. And at number 2, I got soon to be QB2, Dylan Gabriel. He has a pretty clean pocket right here, but he decides to scramble towards the defensive lineman and throws his ball into triple coverage, which should have been a pick. And at number 1, I got the 41st starting quarterback for the Browns since 1999, Dylan Gabriel. He has no one open on this play, so he decides to blindly throw it to his check down, which should have been a potential pick 6.
Hey, hold on. Before we get to that, don't move the goalpost. Now listen. Hey, CDK said don't move the goalpost because I was hitting JO EP with that yesterday. Hold on. I'm not moving the goalpost, bro. Brian played for Cleveland, but Brian didn't live in Cleveland. Brian either lived in some suburb out the way. Deshaun Watson don't live in Cleveland. He live in a suburb out the way. So that's not moving the goalpost. Evan Mobley don't live in Cleveland. He live in a suburb out the way. Spider Mitchell don't live in Cleveland. He stay in a suburb out the way. So I ain't moving no goalposts. Facts ain't excuses. Let's be very clear. Let's get to the video. Bruh, how many touchdowns did you see Dylan Gabriel fuck up?
God damn it! I told you I'm in the other room doing something. I'm watching y'all.
My bad. Man, you ain't see it. That's cool. It's cool. Sports Diva. You seen the video, baby?
He fucked up a lot. But I'm gonna be back. Give me a second. Let me hold this house shit down real quick.
Hard.
I'm sorry. What you say, bro?
On that video, how many touchdowns did you see? How many possible touchdowns did you see Dylan Gabriel destroy?
Between 5 and 6, I do believe.
5 and 6 touchdowns
Yeah, that's insane. So we really can't put it on.
on the play calling.
We can't put it on a play calling at that. And I've had to. I think I acted like, I'm not even gonna lie. I have been one of those that was blaming Kevin Stefanski immediately after the game. I'm not gonna lie, but I had to sit down. I said, wait a minute. I'm sports diva. I have to do my research and I have to have my shit together. I had to sit down. I had to watch it back 2 or 3 times. I had to actually watch the whole game back too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of like, it's a lot of nooks and crannies in there that I'd be like, okay, you know what, Kevin? All right, I'm gonna ease up on him. I'm gonna ease up on him because you can't. You have to put some of the blame on the people that's on the field and actually performing the athleticism they're performing. Okay, you're hitting guys in the back of the head. Which I now some of them are now stuff like that. I'm gonna blame the receivers for not looking back and not having those, not running the right routes or whatever it was, the communication between them and Dylan. But Dylan, I'm not gonna keep on making excuses about your height. I'm not gonna keep on making excuses for about the O line. Yeah, we know how O line is. We get that, but stop running out of the pocket to run back in it. Stop doing stuff like that. at some point you do have to take some of that blame off of Kevin. Like I know the head coach is always looked at like, yeah, you the ruler of the team, you this, you that, you this, but you can't blame him for all that, man. You can't, especially what I just seen. Well, what I've seen a couple times. That same exact clip, bro. I watched that too.
bruh. So listen, so this is where I say this is CDK. We not about to keep talking about that, bruh. We ain't doing that. Okay, you right, bruh. I moved the goalpost. My apologies. You right. We ain't even on that topic no more. It's over with that. But I'm telling you in front of everybody, you're right. I moved the goalpost. My apologies. All right, we ain't talking about that. On the video I just showed, or that was just shown here on the podcast, right? People keep
Mhm.
complaining about Kevin Stefanski play calling, but we literally just showed you 8 plays, 8 plays from the previous game where they only scored how many points? 9. But we just seen where they could have put up 35 points on 5 different plays. So what
Hmm.
are we talking about? It ain't the play calling. Okay? Stop trying to blame that man for the play calling. That's my first point. It's not the play calling. You
Oh, yes,
can't
it is.
blame the
It's not. It's a
coach.
delay.
We can't blame the coach for that. So, okay. Meecher say I blame both. CDK say, isn't Gabriel Kevin guy? Isn't Gabriel a rookie playing his second game?
I'm sorry, Ashton. I just talk loud. I wasn't getting loud. I just
No, he
talk
talking about
loud.
me. He talking about me. He talking about
Oh,
me. He
okay.
talking about me. He talking about
like,
me. It's
like my bad.
cool.
I just
People,
talk a little loud.
when people can't really win arguments with me and shit, they try to play semantics so he can have the semantics. I don't even care. Okay, but 5 plays. Okay, Demetrius say I blame both. Y'all, bruh,
Hmm.
listen. People love to try to scoop some responsibility on somebody else when they don't want to take full responsibility for their actions. Okay,
Hmm.
Dylan Gabriel, the coach's job is to put you in a position to succeed. We just seen 8 plays where the line protected you, you had the time, you had the vision, and the receivers ran the route. All right. The one thing I'll give Dylan is that he's a rookie, and the college game
Hmm.
is not the NFL game. Where I can take a little bit that away from is you played 6 years of college as a starter. This is where I can throw the caveat in. But I'm not going to take away from the fact that you still a rookie quarterback playing for the Browns. I don't expect no rookie to come in here and show out. But if you do, I love you, no doubt. But
Question.
you
Question.
say, go ahead.
All right, you said the coaches to put him in the best position though. Do you think having him drop back for what was it 59 times to throw the ball is the best position for your rookie?
Well, that's a double sided. I ain't gonna say double sided. I have a few answers for this. When it comes to him throwing it 50 times. All right. First off, let's go to the Minnesota game. How many people complain because Kevin Stefanski leaned on the running game instead of the rookie quarterback, and he leaned on the defense instead of the rookie quarterback? How many people complained about them losing that game? How many people? 90% of the fan base complained. Oh,
Right.
why he ain't throw the ball? Oh, why he ain't take no chances? This is what y'all said, right? Oh,
Did,
why was the defense in a position to have to save the game when the defense is supposed to be the best defense in the league? So you're not supposed to be able to lean on your defense if they're the number one defense? Your defense wasn't supposed to stop a team that's missing multiple first weapons and their whole line from going 80 yards to take the game? Is the offensive job not to have the lead and give something for the defense to protect? Did the offense not do that? So y'all complained. Y'all complained. Y'all was upset. Okay, we play the Steelers, right? They're shutting down the run. They're putting 7 guys, 8 guys on the line every time. So it doesn't make sense to try to run Quinshawn Judkins 20 times when you know the defense is selling out on the run. The smartest thing to do is what? pass the ball against man coverage. Again, this is why I showed the video first. This is why I showed the video first. Okay. So in the Minnesota game, when they had to win, had to lead, and they tried to put it on the defense to control the game, they didn't come through. That's Kevin's fault, right? It's Kevin's fault that Denzel Ward didn't go stop Addison from catching that ball. It's Kevin's fault that the defense couldn't get off the field on third down multiple times in the Vikings game, right? Okay, why did he throw the ball 50 times? Because he couldn't run the ball. And then people keep saying, let me ask something else. Oh, Dylan Gabriel, he ain't given a chance to open it up. We need to see what he could do. If that's your guy, Kevin, give him a chance to open it up. Is that not what he just did? Did he not?
Right.
I'm sorry, Sports Diva. Did he not just give him a chance to open it up?
He did. He did.
Did he
And
not draw up plays for him to
everybody's saying he
succeed?
isn't correct, correct. And by, people are saying, oh, the quarterback isn't prepared and things like that. Well, uh, who does that fall back on? Because apparently, if he isn't prepared, then Kevin thought he was. I'm just saying that. Don't shoot the messenger. You know what I'm saying? Kevin thought he was more than Shador. So I mean, I just feel like, sometimes things don't go our way, things don't go your way in life, things like that. But when things are written all over your face and set in stone, like out that we can see, like we actually see what's going on, like yeah, change is necessary, but you can't blame everything on Kevin. You just can't. And like, trust me, like I said, I was one of the ones that was, because I was so upset, so frustrated with what happened these last couple of games. I'm like, get rid of Kevin, get rid of Kevin. But when you sit back, do your research, you look, hey, that video was actually awesome. That was a good video. And you sit back, oh, you know what? You're right. Kevin ain't responsible for everything, man. You're right. You can't do. It's not fair. It's not fair to just put him as responsible for everything. So yeah.
And listen, and those were just the plays that were isolated, right? That was just 8 plays. That was
Correct.
just 8 plays. He threw the
Correct.
ball 50 times. So we only showed
Yeah.
8 throws out of the 50. We didn't even show the running plays, right? I just
Yeah.
want to set the table for y'all, right? Okay, so again, he was a
Yeah.
victim of 7 drops, was he not? Because just like I'm jumping on Dylan Gabriel for his bullshit, I can say he had a 3rd and 8 where he beat the defensive line, rolled out to his left, and hit Harold Fannin right in the hands for another potential score, and Fannin dropped it.
Hey, leave Fanning out of this.
Hey, but he did it though. Hold him
I don't
accountable.
care. I don't care.
No, now it's I don't care. See what I'm saying? Oh, now it's I don't care. Hold
It's
on,
OG.
Demetri.
It's an
See,
OG call.
it's the OG call. See, this is what I mean about Cleveland fans. When somebody sit,
I'm back though. I'm back though.
you good, bro. You jump in and out. You know how I go.
Once you done with this, I want you to hit Andrew Berry and everybody comparing him to Keith Mosabi and all them. Once you done with the
With this part of it, I got you. I got you. You will know when I hit this with the commercial break. So okay, this is what I don't like about Cleveland fans sometimes. When somebody provides you with a fact, now you want to immediately go to some bullshit. We're not doing that. I'm not saying you don't have a valid question and asking me, Demetrius, what's your solution? I'm just saying I ain't got there yet, bruh. Let me get there. Trust me, I already knew you was gonna ask the question. And believe, I will not ever give you feedback on something and not give you a solution. But I can't give you the solution until I set the whole table so you can understand why the solution fits. Because if I tell you the solution without context, then it's not helpful. So I give you the context first, then I'll give you the solution. Okay? Because sometimes it's just patience. And we all know a lot of Cleveland fans is impatient. And that ain't how life works. All right. So let's get back to it. Now, he was a victim of 7 drops and multiple assignments where, hold on, 7 drops, 9 penalties on the offense. right? Or let's just say 6. So Dylan messed up 8 plays. You had 6 plays took back from penalties. You had 7 drops. I ain't the best mathematician in the world, but so what's that about 21 plays? It's
Right.
about
Yeah.
21 plays, right?
21. Mm-hmm.
So if Clevin's such a bad play caller, then how is it 21 plays that could have went for positives that they fucked up? It ain't the play calling. This is just my whole point. It's not the play calling. Okay? It's not. All right? Let me go back to a comment. CDK say, how long is the renovation going to last? And what is the point of the rebuild? Well, it lasts as long as it takes it to get it right. You don't get to dictate how long that goes because you don't get to pick the fate of every player that's involved or every person that's involved. You don't know game to game who gonna get hurt or not get hurt. You don't know game to game who gonna turn up this game or not turn up this game. You don't get to dictate the learning curve for every rookie and how long it takes them to understand what's going on. You just have to have the belief, the patience, and the encouragement to say at some point it's going to get right. If you're always looking for immediate gratification, then I have to question your loyalty and your IQ to the game. I have to. Because nothing in football comes overnight. And if it does, it don't last long. It's been a lot of one season wonders. It's been a lot of 2 season wonders. Very few teams have a dynasty, which is what we're looking for. Clyde Marshall. This summer, Kevin said Joe Flacco gives us the best chance of winning. And guess what? Hold on, I ain't finished, CDK. I ain't finished with the rebuild renovation. I just got to one part. I didn't finish. I'm going to get back to you. Hold on. Well, Clyde, when you have 2 rookie quarterbacks, one, why would you want to go into a season with only 2 rookie quarterbacks and no veteran on your roster? That doesn't even make sense logically. Okay. Secondly, Joe Flacco did give them the best chance to win until he showed he couldn't. See, you can't always predict how somebody's going to play. You can only hold a personal. Hey, it's cool. You can only hold a accountable for results. If you didn't actually bring the results yet, I can't hold you accountable for something that hasn't happened yet. That's called assuming. That's called leading. Because I know what could happen doesn't mean I don't have to let it play out. I do. Okay. Secondly, rebuild is a renovation, not a rebuild. Why is it a renovation? Because the problem with Cleveland's offense last year is it didn't have any young talent to go with all these older guys that was about to leave. Is that true or not, Sports Diva?
I agree. I actually have to agree.
They didn't have no young talent. Okay, that was the
Right.
problem.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't have no young talent. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
knew that they were going to get Quinshon Judkins in the second round. Nobody knew
Right.
Isaiah Bond wasn't going to get drafted and they was going to get him. Nobody knew Gage Lavardian was going to come on and be nice. Nobody knew that they would be able to get Dylan Sampson, who led the SEC in rushing for multiple seasons. Nobody knew he was going to get him. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew that they were going to be able to come out of the draft with Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders. Nobody knew that. So let's start with the first issue. The first issue is you didn't have youth. Now you got youth. No, who expects youth to come in and blow everybody out the water with no veterans to help you? Like, where is the logic in that, bro? Again, fans are impatient. They think with emotion and not logic. Context matters. Nobody knew that the Browns would come out with the draft they came out this year with, and they did. Why y'all can't be just appreciative first of the fact that they have talent in place? What is so wrong with that? I like Jeremy Thrash as a receiver. I like Harold Fannin Jr. as a compliment to David Njoku. I like David Njoku. We all know Jerry Judy is not a number 1 receiver.
Correct.
So being overly upset about his drops makes no sense when you know he ain't had to roll. So Even though this is a rebuild, this is a renovation.
Never
The
got rid of
renov
him. He was doing the same damn thing over there.
oh, mind you, wait, Cedric Tillman hurt. Who knew Cedric Tillman was gonna be hurt? They thought he was gonna be playing, right? And
Tillman, my guy, but he just can't stay up. We just got to get an Ohio State boy in here, and it's good to go.
again, again, this is where I get mad at people don't like to hold the players accountable. Hold the player accountable. Go on that player social media page and tell him how he need to up his game before you got to go to his boss and ask him why he got him there. Because when Jerry Judy went for 1,200 plus yards receiving last year, I didn't hear nobody complaining. Where was the complaint?
Right.
When David Njoku had the best receiving season of his life last year, I didn't hear nobody complaining. But we already knew Cedric Tillman was going to be iffy. We didn't know what he was going to do. We already knew that. So how are y'all trying to move the goalposts on something that you already knew was going to happen? Y'all being illogical. And this is what blows me. Okay? Stop being illogical. Joe Flacco did give you the best chance to win until he went 1-3. What was the point of keeping him? At that point, at 1-3, you already know this season's probably going to go into a shithole. Why they got to be so shitty? Well, wasn't they 3-14 last year?
Yeah.
So what the fuck did you expect to happen this year?
Right.
Like, make it make sense. They were 3-14 last year. Deshaun got hurt. Chubb was still trying to come back off a second knee injury. Amari Cooper gone and he ain't even in the league no more. What are we talking about? Y'all just so this is where I have a problem with Cleveland's local sports media. This is where I have the problem because a lot of you all get your opinions and assumptions from them because in your mind they're covering the team so they have the insight. Did y'all forget that this regime cut the local sports media off in their first year? Do y'all forget that? Only certain people can report on the team realistically. Nathan Segura has insight. Jason Lloyd has some insight. Okay? I'll even give Titus Powell for credit for having his insight. I don't know. I like Garrett Bushman. I don't know if he got that much cachet yet. I'll give Daryl Ryder and Andy Baskin they credit. They got some insight. Okay? The rest of these guys, though, they already got cut off.
I
Mary
rock with
Kay,
Nate. Rock with
go
Nate.
ahead, bro.
No,
Rock
I
with
said
Nate. No,
I rock with Nate. You know what I'm saying?
that
And
is my guy.
that's what a lot of the aunties and stuff should have went to. They should have been going to Nate to see what's really going on and stop listening to that national media. And Nate would have been telling y'all what's really going on up in that damn room and what's going on. You know what I'm saying? As much as he can tell. But putting all that old other shit that's going on, you know, just no chill.
And I want y'all to understand there's something about DeeTrynt, okay? I've been a fan since I was 4, okay? I can't speak on everybody else, so I'm not speaking on everybody else. I'm just speaking on me. And I tell y'all how much I love the game and how much I know about the plain dealer reporters. Because all of these guys that y'all listen to started in the plain dealer. And I read their shit every day. I had a subscription to the plain dealer for 15 years living in Cleveland, bruh. I read the paper every day, faithfully. Every day.
You have to read Grossy.
Grossy, Terry Pluto, Mary Kay, well, Jim Donovan wasn't a writer, but he got interviewed a lot back in the day. So a lot of his stuff was transcripted. And it was quite an other guy. R.I.P. The GOAT. The GOAT to me. He the GOAT.
We don't mess with the Rust Belt reporters out here. Y'all got to know the Rust Belt reporters out here in Cleveland. And there's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? And most of them, a lot of them from them paper days, and some of them just follow under the people from them paper days. You know what I'm saying? DeeTrynt done disappeared. He'll be back.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Here you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to say what happened. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, you got up out of here.
I don't know what happened. I'm back.
You got
I'm back.
traded. You got
I'm
traded.
back. Not I got traded. Because you know what? That always happen when you talk that truth, man. When you get to spitting that real, they don't want to hear that real. You feel me? So I'm just saying, if you're listening to these particular people in Cleveland sports media, you're not getting real. You're not getting accurate information. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry cut them off in 2020. They came out multiple times publicly saying, "Yeah, we tight-lipped. We don't trust the way that they do the information." And every day they prove why they don't trust them with the information. Okay. Um, Sports Diva, you got something you want to add on these notes?
Mm, I just don't want, I mean, I'm a fan, of course. Yeah, die hard, so I'm not going nowhere. But I just need the fans to ease up a little bit, man. You can't, like DeeTrynt said, stop expecting something that you already know is gonna happen, man. Like, especially when you like we complain about the stuff every single week. Just know, like, yeah, either you a fan or you a bandwagon. So I mean, you gotta take a roll with the punches. It is what it is. Like nothing, we're not going backwards, we going forwards. But it should take time, man. And I know we hear this all the time. I know. But at the end of the day, we know what we got. We know what we working with. We know our potential. I know our potential, but I'm not gonna speak it. But just be patient, man. That's all I can really say. Go Browns, man. Like, I mean, we got upcoming games that I think that we gonna have a couple of them, but don't be so hard on Kevin, man. Because like me and DeeTrynt was talking about last night, when it comes down to this organization itself, the owner alone, a lot of people dislike that man, a whole lot of people, and I get it, but he he is a power, what do you call it, power hungry guy. He runs a lot of shit that
Power
Kevin
trim
has no say so. Yeah, Kevin has no say so over. So a lot of this shit you cannot blame Kevin for. I'm gonna leave it at that, and y'all will see why by the end of the season. That's just that.
type time. D Trent, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at D Trent. If you miss the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify and various other streaming platforms. Just look for Industry Sports. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you will see D Trent. Game Changer Sports Talk with D Trent. That's yours truly here. All right. We always like the comments and feedback. Listen, I'm a very passionate guy. Don't take nothing I say personal. All right. I'm not an attacker for real, even though it may come off very aggressive. I am just a very passionate speaker. When I speak on things, I only speak on things that I'm passionate about. If I don't have no knowledge or no real take on it, you're not gonna hear me talk like that about it because I don't like spreading misinformation. I can only tell you the information that I have or something that I fact check. Or sometimes it's just we creatures of habit. Maybe track records speak a lot for itself. So if I know you to be a fuck up in 10 previous tries, I have no reason to believe on try 11, 12, 13, and 14 that you're not going to fuck up. You got to show me. All right? Now,
Mhm.
Uh, before you
you
get
want me to
into
talk about Andrew Berry?
yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
before you get into it, Diva was saying, go easy on Stefanski. Hey, you know that it's gonna get ugly for him this weekend if they don't produce downtown. You know they go flip out, and you
Yeah.
know it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be Shador, push Shador. Hey, listen, we ain't been in Cleveland for this little ass whooping streak. You know what I'm saying? So they've been hearing it on the internet, and the internet been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Even the home team, even the people that used to be the Rust Belt reporters, even they flipping on them right now. So it's about to listen. If they don't whoop on the Dolphins, I'm talking about first quarter. If it get ugly, it's gonna get ugly down there, and they go be loaded, full of that drink.
Oh, I already know.
Okay, what? Wait, no. Wait, come back, Hooli. Hold on. When you talk about Andrew Berry, what is it that you specifically want me to cover?
Oh, because everybody keep comparing him to because everybody want him fired. Everybody keep comparing him to Woki Mosabi and that regime and everything.
Oh, Dorsey?
Yeah, they compare him to drafting
Weird ass
and
Dorsey?
all that. Yeah. So that no, it been going on for.
Oh my
What is going on?
god.
That's why people won't Barry fired. But I want
Oh
you to break
my
it down.
god.
I want you to break it down to understand. Yeah, you know how to break it down from either the picks, you know what I'm saying, from what this is like Barry first time getting first round draft pick. Like I want you to break it down and I'm
Okay.
surprised you don't see
Okay.
it.
Listen, I mean, in previous ones I did, but let me
Yeah,
let
but
me
no,
try to add some context.
they talking about they both
Okay.
got it.
Okay. So let's start in the beginning. How did Andrew Berry get the job? Okay. When they fired Hugh Jackson, let Greg Williams go, got rid of Haley and Dorsey, right? Again, I told you all about how they did the hierarchy. What people forget is Kevin Stefanski was hired first. He was the first hire in his new regime. Jimmy or DeePodesta, both of them, asked Kevin Stefanski because of, again, context. The reason Dorsey got let go was because he was on bullshit with Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson has suffered through two loser seasons that Jimmy Haslam forced him to have. Okay? Sashi Brown purposely sabotaged picks and players that Hugh Jackson wanted to have. From a business standpoint, you cannot have that type of internal turmoil and let it go on. Okay? Dorsey thought he was gonna be too penny slick and he was gonna hire Ty Haley as the offensive coordinator next to Hugh Jackson. Okay? And really he was sabotaging Hugh, right? When Jimmy Haslam found out, he fired Haley and he fired Hugh. Why? Because he felt that his GM was undermining his authority. And ain't nobody side of your checks gonna have that. So Greg Williams took over because Greg Williams had nothing to do with that, and all he had to control was the defense. Again, we go back to this hierarchy of the head coach, what his specialty is, what he runs. This guy does what he does, right? Okay, hold on, Clyde. Get context first, bro. Everybody like to speak without context. Your emotions are in context. If you know something that I'm saying that you could prove to be wrong, then you can have that. But until then, hold on, bro. Get all the information before you have a reply. All right, so he hires Kevin. Kevin, you've been in Minnesota for a long time. You've been an excellent play caller, a guy who's gotten the more out of an offense than you expected to get. So I'm going to bring you in. I want you to run my offense. You're the head coach, but you run the offense. Okay? And I will allow you to pick guys to handle these other things. He said, who do you want as a general manager? He said, oh, Andrew Berry, that's my guy. That's my road dog. You should go interview Andrew. Now, mind you, Andrew was just here two regimes previous. Before we brought in Sashi and got, oh no, actually he was with Sashi.
So Stefanski got hired before Andrew. Damn.
Yes, and Stefanski hired, in so many words,
I thought
Andrew
he
got hired.
was
No, no. And everybody could go back and you could look this up. Kevin Stefanski got hired. DeePodesta and Jimmy went to him and asked him, who is the GM that you're comfortable with? Because they didn't want the Dorsey, Hugh Jackson, Ty Haley, uh, Sashi Brown, Hugh Jackson dynamic. They didn't want that anymore. They wanted two guys to work in unison. Okay? So Kevin picked Andrew. Andrew came aboard. They both decided on. I don't even remember who the hell that defensive coordinator was. He was so garbage. I forget what his name was, but they both decided on him. Okay, that's how it worked. So there is no firing Stefanski without firing Andrew. Y'all keep forgetting that they best friends. It don't matter what y'all think.
And that's what
Y'all not
everybody
remembering.
they said if one go, the other one going.
Yeah, bro, they best friends. They best friends, bro. You telling me you and your best friend come help a regime? Mind you, I gotta give them their credit, bro. Name me another Cleveland regime that was here 5 consecutive seasons and won at least 40 plus games. Name me one. I don't want to hear all them outside answers y'all want to try to provide. Answer the question directly. Name me one regime before this one that's won 40 plus games. Okay? Boom. So it ain't that they're necessarily not doing good. They're just not meeting the expectations of fans. And my problem with the fans' expectations are they're unrealistic and they're illogical. There's nothing wrong with you wanting what you want. Everybody's entitled to want what they want, and that's okay. But in the grand scheme of things, there's a such thing as what you perpetuate in your mind and what's actually playing out in real life. And a lot of times y'all separate reality from what y'all want. Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones have nothing to do with this conversation. That is a owner and a coach. We're talking about a GM and a coach who are subordinates to the owner and the CEO, which is Jimmy and Podesta. So come on, bruh. That don't even apply. My apologies. Let me catch up. For everybody who don't know what I'm responding to, my apologies. All right. Clyde, CDK, Adam, Demetrius, they're all commenting. So let me read you what they're saying, okay? Adam said we need Shador. Flat out. Clyde says Andrew Berry is bright. Why? He traded Kenny Pickett. He traded Joe Flacco. He blocked Kevin from not making Shador as number two. The CEO of the Browns said the GM hires and fires who he wants. Mm. Barry is here's Clyde again. Barry is an alum of Harvard, and so am I, and a member of Omega's PSI Phi fraternity. Clyde again. Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones played at Arkansas and were best friends. I appreciate your insight. Shout out to an Ivy Leaguer watching the podcast, bro. I appreciate that. As a guy who aspired to be a lawyer first and just didn't know if I had what it takes to do 12 years of college, I still ended up doing 10 years of college and still, getting a few credentials, but it wasn't the one that I aspired for initially. So let me just say that just man to man, bro, I salute you. I don't know what you went for, but I'm just saying, I just on the side note, I salute that. You know what I'm saying? Again, I appreciate the insight on what you know about that. All right. But I'm just talking football right now. And here, I don't see how two friends who have turned the franchise around, I don't care how y'all try to minimize it, they've already turned this franchise around. How did they turn the franchise around? Well, before Jimmy and Kevin got here, I'm sorry, before Andrew and Kevin got here, the Browns couldn't get no top tier athlete in a prime to play here. If I am mistaken, Kevin and Andrew then got one here every year. Every year they've been here, they done got a new top tier guy to come here from one position some type of way. Now, whether they panned out or not is a whole nother conversation. But let's not skip over the fact that Cleveland isn't a desirable place to live, and they convinced those guys to come here. They deserve credit for that. Okay? Before this regime got here, the local media influenced everything that goes on. They were always in the locker rooms. They're always starting up drama. They always nitpicking, putting people against each other. If you don't know Cleveland history, you don't know this. So let me provide you context. This is why They are tight-lipped with them, and only certain individuals get in. I call that a win. I appreciate that. Before Kevin and Andrew got here, we had no reputation for winning anything. A playoff game, a top tier defense, none of that. You can't name me one regime before we got here that got that. Only honorable mention you have is Chazinski with North Turner and Mike Patton. If I think Mike Patton was the defensive coach then. That was the only regime that came in here and kind of looked it nice. But Jimmy didn't like them undermining his authority. Okay? So he had to go. Okay, so let's get back to Andrew. When Andrew and them got this team, somebody on Twitter said they inherit a powerhouse offense. Why are you lying? Let's be very clear. When Andrew and
That's one of the main things they saying. They say everything good he had came from Keep Mosabi and all of them.
That's a lie. Andrew, okay. Dorsey had Baker Mayfield. Wait. Dorsey drafted Baker Mayfield, and Joe Thomas retired before the draft.
This is all still the same. Like just what I said that too, and they comparing his draft picks to Keep Mosabi in them. So they comparing them. They saying he inherited everything from him, and they comparing his picks to Keep Mosabi picks.
Why are y'all lying? Okay, wait. Okay, so Keep Mosabi inherited. Kemosabe inherited.
I know who Kemosabe is.
No, I like that. He talking about John Dorsey. Okay, John Dorsey inherited Myles Garrett. He inherited Denzel Ward. He inherited Joe Thomas because he had Joe Thomas for a year. No, he didn't. He inherited Joe Batonio. Okay, and he brought Jack Conklin. Okay, if I'm mistaken, he brought Jack Conklin, right? On that offense, Kemosabe inherited Nick Chubb. If I'm mistaken, right? He inherited Nick Chubb. I don't remember. Was Nick Chubb part of the Baker draft? No, he was part of the Baker draft, right? I think that draft was Baker, Denzel, and Nick. Okay, so Kemosabe did. He did draft those, right? He didn't draft Miles. He didn't draft Jabril, and he didn't draft. I thank you, Demetrius, for saying that. This is a good team. The QB plays is bad. I agree. It definitely has talent. All right. And he had Jabril Peppers. All right. He traded for Jarvis Landry right before the draft. He traded for Odell Beckham in his second offseason, right? He drafted, what was my corner guy that I used to like? Williams. What the fuck was his name? Now, I thought he was gonna be something too. But I always thought he should have moved to safety. He came from LSU too. He came before Dale Pitt. Something Williams. Greedy Williams. He brought in Greedy. All right. What linebackers did we have? The O line kind of got good that second year because he had Conklin. Then they had I forget who the left tackle was after they got Conklin, and then you had Taylor and Batonio, and then we had another center in there. I can't remember his name. Right? Okay. Let's add context to the players that he drafted or he acquired. Baker Mayfield sucked. I don't care what y'all say. Baker Mayfield, first 7 years in the NFL, he sucked. Yes, I have a post I can put the post up where I evaluated every quarterback in that draft. And as I look back on it, I really evaluated these quarterbacks to the T. I don't even hold you. I didn't even realize I did that. This was 8, 9 years ago. I evaluated these quarterbacks to the fucking T. Okay? Because I said Josh Allen was probably the best prospect in the draft. I said Lamar Jackson has the most upside in the draft. And I said Baker Mayfield has the it factor in the draft. But he needed a couple years. I said he needed at least a year to sit to play behind a veteran. I said Lamar Jackson needed I said him and Baker needed offenses tailored around what they do. And I said Josh Allen is probably the most day one ready. I said Sam Darnold has has a lot of tools, but his progression, his ability to read from progression from the first option to the last option is sucked. So he was probably gonna need a couple seasons. I said Josh Rosen has a thing, but he has an ego problem. He has the physical traits, but he has an ego problem. I have this post, bro. I can't alter it. I've been had it. I just add some context, okay? Baker sucked. Baker sucked so bad that he was the reason he was injured. I don't know why people forget that. Baker was the reason Baker was injured. Baker threw the interception to a player he wasn't supposed to be throwing it to. And then he took it upon himself to go try to tackle the guy that he threw the interception to. Like this guy didn't have 50 pounds on you. Baker was part of his own demise. On top of that, Baker couldn't read defenses. There's no way you're the number one overall pick at quarterback and you can't read defenses. That makes no sense to me. Okay? So, in shortening, the team that y'all say that he had that was so good wasn't that good. Odell was fired, but his body was already breaking down. He had already came off multiple leg injuries, right ankle and a hip injury on that same side that he had the ankle injury on. Jarvis Landry had been overused in Miami for 7 seasons. So when we got him, he only had a couple years left. Wasn't Kimo Sabe the same one that brought Austin Hooper over here? How did that pan out? Austin Hooper didn't do shit. No. Am I tripping? Wasn't Kimo Sabe the same one that brought Olivier Vernon over here? And what the fuck did Olivier Vernon do? Nothing. Wasn't Kimo Sabe the same one who drafted Larry Ogunjobi? And what the fuck did he come over here and do? Nothing. So while y'all keep talking about Ken Dorsey that done so well, he ain't did shit. But what I do give Ken Dorsey credit for is he can identify talent. His ability to scout talent is top tier. That is the attribute that he has. So he's with the Detroit Lions now, and what is his role? He's the head scout. He don't make no decisions on players or business. The only thing he does is scout players because that's what he's good at. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with holding people accountable for what they do well. Okay, so what has Andrew Berry done? Now people will point out, oh, Richard LeCounte didn't work out, and Perrion Winfrey didn't work out, and Anthony Schwartz didn't work out, and this person didn't work out, and this person didn't work out. The Ken Dorsey of Miami, I agree with you. I appreciate that, Clyde. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work. Oh, this person didn't work out. Well, do you know that most regimes only hit on about 15% of their picks in every season? If they have 7 picks in the draft, I'm gonna be nice and say 30, right? You might be able to hit on your first and second round pick. Your third round pick, depending on where you're drafting at, is still in the top 100. So only the top 100 players are really quote unquote guaranteed to impact your team. Okay. Of course, of later years and in the 2000s, fourth round, fifth round, sixth round, seventh round picks, undrafted players, undrafted players have contributed more to teams. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. What I'm saying is it is an anomaly. That is not something organizations bank on. Oh, this guy is going to go undrafted and he's going to come in and set our team on fire. Oh, this fourth round pick is going to come in and do everything. They're all developmental players. You pick them in those rounds because these guys most likely cost you nothing and you benefit everything. Okay? Plus, their contracts aren't that guaranteed. Everybody after the third round's contract isn't guaranteed. It's not. It's substantial. It is depending. Okay? So, again, let me add some more context. When Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski got hired, they were 42 years old. 42. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. I don't even think they were 40 yet. If I'm mistaken,
Andrew Berry was in his 30s. Andrew Berry
I was about to say,
man.
no.
Andrew Berry 40 right now. He might be 40.
No, Andrew Berry like 42.
I don't think so. He might. I don't think so. No, he's not. No,
Man,
he's not. We older
how
than
old is
Andrew
he?
Berry. We older
than Andrew?
We older than Andrew
Berry. Crazy work. I know Kevin Stefanski was about 38 or 39 when they signed Kevin. Kevin only about 43 now, maybe 44, something like that. But my whole thing is, it is rare that you can get two mentally and talented guys in your organizations in their 30s. Okay?
Andrew Berry is 38 right now.
Okay, again, you're mad that a 30-year-old after 5 seasons make it make sense. So he got the job when he was 33. He's 38 now. Why would Jimmy want to get rid of him when you know that every season he's going to get better? That's why you draft off potential. When you draft guys, you draft them with the hope that even though I draft them in this year, 4 or 5 years from now, they're going to be way better than when we got them at. The same thing with staffing. If I put a GM in place in his 30s, that means I foresee that by the time he hit his 40s, he's going to be twice, if not 3 times as good he was when I got him in his 30s. If I get a coach in his 30s, I'm saying to myself, by the time he's in 40s, he's going to be better than he was when he started. Regardless of what credit y'all do or don't want to give, Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry have gotten better at some aspect every year. Now, they may not be accelerating at the learning curve you want them to, but you don't sign their checks. So it don't matter what you want. Just be honest. It doesn't matter what you want. You don't sign their checks. As long as they doing what keeps Jimmy happy, that's all that matters. From my standpoint, they're they're late 30s and early 40s. Okay? You could do a lot worse. I understand that it's a low bar, but I'm saying there wasn't a bar here to begin with. So if there wasn't a bar, how could you not congratulate those men for setting one? Give them their credit. There was nothing here. They set a bar, right? So why you not gonna give them the chance to up the bar when they was the ones that set it? I set the world record in the event, and I don't get a chance to defend my record or increase it. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that fans don't have a right to feel the way they feel. I have no problem with nobody's feelings. But when you express them out loud to me, it's got to have some logic in it. It cannot be all emotion. There has to be some facts included with how you came to your conclusion. And in my opinion, when they evaluate Kevin and Andrew, there is no real context. There's only optics. I ain't saying you. I'm just saying the bar low, but it's Cleveland, bro. It is what it is. We can only blame the previous regimes for not making sure that they had a better standard to go by. Okay, but in these guys' 5 seasons here, they renovated the entire team. They actually put some respect on the Browns. The Browns had no respect. I think people forget this. When we came into 2018, coming into 2019, From 99 to 2018, the Browns organization had no respect. No respect. What I think people fail to realize too or don't want to accept is that around the rest of the league, around the rest of the owners and coaches, Kevin and Andrew are two highly respected and highly wanted guys. I ain't got to Shador yet, bro. We ain't got to that part of the show yet. You got to be patient. This is my show. I run how this go, okay? But I appreciate your enthusiasm. Let me be very clear. I very much appreciate that. But we ain't got to Shador yet, okay? Plus, Shador's the backup quarterback, okay? We're not doing that just yet. I know everybody else want to put that because they want likes and clicks off Shador. Hey, listen, I'm a football man. I'm a football man. So I'm going to talk to you about football, and then we can get to the specifics. All right? That's all I'm saying, bro. But I appreciate ain't nothing wrong with you asking. So, again, if Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski get fired today, they'll have a job tomorrow. And then, in usual Cleveland fashion, people be talking about, oh, why you let those two guys go and they went somewhere else and did? No, bro, have patience. These guys are trying to figure out how to make it work with what they got. All right? It ain't like they got a lot supporting them, bro. Cleveland ain't a place to live. I'm so sorry that people don't want to accept that, but Cleveland is not a place to live. Nobody gets money and volunteers to go to Cleveland. Nobody in the summertime vacations in Cleveland. People don't come up here to see tourist attractions in Cleveland, man. That's just not how it works. You know what brings people to Cleveland? The people. The people of Cleveland are the most attractive thing about Cleveland. Because until you actually come interact with us, you don't know how cool we are. You don't know how real it is. Now there's some, dynamics, and they dynamics. But overall, when you come to Cleveland, you're gonna be able to kick it real good. You're gonna eat some good ass food. You're gonna be highly entertained by what goes on in the city. Again, you feel what I'm saying? But it's just the fact that you hate where you work. See, people will be like, well, why these people go to New York or they go to Texas or why they go to Florida? Well, bro, because the living conditions are better. Because when players go to teams, it's not just about the player, it's about his family. His kids got to go to school there. His wife has to be able to thrive there. Maybe he has to bring his mother and his father, or maybe some cousins or aunts and uncles. You don't know who that player is taking care of with his money. And he has to consider how where he's playing or where they're moving to will affect his entire family, not just the fans and where they want him to go. So if you're not including these type of insight when you talk about why people do or don't come to Cleveland, then you're missing it. And this is why it's hard for you to wrap your mind around it. And I'm not saying you specifically, I'm just speaking in general. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's hard to wrap your mind around it. Because you're not adding all the context that really matters. When people listen, the football season is only from August to January. They still gotta live the rest of the year, bro. Nobody wants to spend money traveling all the time. And you from Chicago, and guess what? What do you hear about Cleveland? You come on vacation, you leave on probation. How many of y'all heard that before? How many of y'all heard that about Cleveland before? You come on vacation, you leave on probation. How many times you heard that before? Okay, so again, all I'm saying is, hold on. Yeah, man, I'm gonna check on my little mama right quick, y'all. My fault, my fault, my fault. You know what I'm saying? Just for context, right now, currently, not in Cleveland. I'm in Florida. Had to come down there, visit my baby, your birthday coming up. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. For more context, too, I work for the Browns. Okay? So I want y'all to understand that when I be giving y'all some of this insight, I'm really not speaking outside of my neck. Now, what I do for the Browns, don't worry about that. What I'm saying is, though, I am in the building. All right. I won't be there for the Dolphins game though. I would not. I would not. Not at all. But back to what we are saying about Cleveland. All right. So the things that attract people to Cleveland are not sites and monuments. There's a lot of history in Cleveland, but that doesn't get publicized. You know, Cleveland is a particular and a peculiar place. It's not encouraging for people with a lot of money to come here and spend, which a lot of other places like Chicago, like Detroit, like New York, like even a Pittsburgh. And I feel like Pittsburgh way more shittier than Cleveland, but it's more shit to do there. It's more shit to do there. So people go there. Now we might got something over like a West Virginia or a Kentucky, but they don't have no sports teams for real. They just got college teams. So that don't really count. All right. But if you ask a player, I give you $200 million, you want to go play for the Jets or you want to go play for the Browns? Now because Kevin and Andrew run the team, a person might say Cleveland. But if you just going off places to live, they're going to pick the Jets every time. It's done happen. All right. Perfect example. Indianapolis. I had a homie say on Twitter, right? Was it on Twitter or was it on Facebook? One of my homies, he say, Daniel Jones balling in Indianapolis. The Browns ain't even go for him, which was a lie. The Browns did actually make a play for Daniel Jones. The problem was Daniel Jones chose Indianapolis over the Browns. Hey, do we knock him for that? We can't. He's 4-1 right now, doing everything that everybody said he couldn't do in life. So hey, gotta give credit where it's due, right? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk Industry Sports streaming on multiple media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you'll see Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly. Um, Let me say before I go into my next thing, I appreciate everybody who came in, everybody's feedback, everybody. Listen, I have no problems with answering your questions, giving you feedback on your joint, shouting you out. I never have a problem with that. I enjoy engagement, all right, because I don't know it all. I only know what I know. I'm going to say this again. I don't know it all. I only know what I know. But understand, when you debate with me, be confident in what you're telling and come with your facts because I will not argue with a fact. If you present a fact to me, you won. Let me be very clear. If you present a fact to me, you won. But if your fact is not, solid, it's just something from a perception. If you have a loophole, I will expose your loophole. Flat out. If you got a loophole, I'm exposing. If you expose mine, especially if it's a good one, I'm gonna give you your credit. Hey, bruh, you know what? You got me with that one. Can't even hold you. All right. And guess what? I'm going to incorporate that in my thinking as I move forward because I don't argue with facts. All right. Let's get to the part of the show everybody want to talk about. Shador Sanders. What's up with Shador? First off, shout out to Shador. Bro, I don't know if you ever see this clip or not. I don't know if you ever came across a podcast or not, bro. But let me tell you from a guy who's been who football is my number one love. When it comes to sports, there is no sport I love bigger than football. Okay, and I've been a student of this game since I was 4 years old, bro. So we talking 4 decades of this shit, and not even know just I just watched it like, bro. I really study how every position works and why it works the way it works from foundation. John Madden was my teacher. Bill Belichick was my teacher. You know what I'm saying? Lou Holtz. You know what I'm saying? These like was my teachers. You know what I'm saying? I watched the Warren Moons. I watched the Randall Cunninghams. I seen Peyton and Drew Brees' whole career. I watched Brett Favre's whole career. I've seen Steve Young from when he was a backup in Tampa Bay to when he took over for Joe Montana. I seen Joe Montana when he was a juggernaut for the 49ers and he finished his career in Kansas City. I remember Derek Thomas. I remember Scott Meyer when he couldn't move the ball for Detroit when they had Barry Sanders or Herman Moore. And then when Cleveland left, they got Keenan McCardell. And they had a nice little offense. They had Mark Carrier and Chris Spellman on defense. Like, bruh, I love the game. Okay? I watched Jimmy trade Herschel Walker and get all those draft picks and turn Dallas into a juggernaut. Bro, I watched it all. So understand, my when I speak on the game, hold on. I've watched it all. All right. I love the game. I love the game. All right. So with that being said, Shador, I rock with you, bro. I've said, all right, DeeTrynt on Twitter. You can look at my history, bro. Say that, Clyde. Lou Holtz, Arkansas. I saw Joe Montana defeat Houston in a comeback win. Hey, so I'm glad that you understand what I mean when I'm telling you, like, I love the game, bro. I love the game. A lot of guys who are going into the Hall of Fame now, I watched them from high school, bro. I was the guy who watched high school on Friday, college on Saturday, professional on Sunday and Monday, right? I would argue that the reason they got Thursday game is for some shit because I've been saying it. I ain't gonna take the whole credit. I'm just saying I've been on that type time. Like I've been in love with football since 4 years old, bro. And not just oh I watched it. Ooh, look at the players. Like no, bro. I've been able to understand the game at a high level since four. So in my mind, the foundational parts of the game don't change. It don't matter how you remix this position to make or take a certain type of talent and remix the position they play to make it fit. Bro, that's just how the game works. I'm a firm believer to tell you a player's skill set dictates where he plays, not how he's defined. You feel what I'm saying? For example, Keenan McCardell, right? Yeah, he played quarterback, but he was a dynamic player. He could run the ball, he could catch the ball, he could block, he could play quarterback. He was a weapon. Kind of like how they do Taysom Hill, right? I'm a firm believer in that. You play a guy to his strength. It don't matter if he's a one trick pony. You play him to that one trick pony, and you play off that to confuse the opponent. All right, but let me not stray away from that and talk about me. Let's keep talking about Shador. Shador, bro, I believe you're a franchise quarterback. Let me say this directly. I've always believed that you were destined to be in Cleveland. And if don't nobody believe me, you go check DeeTrynt on Twitter and you check his post history. I've always said that you fit Kevin Stefanski's scheme to a T. Kevin Stefanski, for all those who don't know what type of quarterback Kevin Stefanski is looking for, he wants a gunslinger who can read defenses. What is the gunslinger part, right? Gunslinger means that you throw it to whoever's open. It don't matter who they is or where they at. A gunslinger is looking to complete passes. They're throwing it to whoever open. It don't matter. If you got separation, if you got one on one, and he think his talent can do something, he's going to he is going to put it on that player because he believes in his player. But reading defenses is a pre-snap thing. I don't think a lot of people understand that when it comes to the quarterback position. Reading a defense is pre-snap. Okay, you can tell by how many defensive linemen are lined up on the ball what you may be or may not be looking at. You can tell by where the linebackers are lined up and what down and distance it is, what this defense might be on their way doing. Okay, you use motion to expose man from zone, right? But it's not always the slot. Okay, if you want to expose a zone coverage, you motion your best player. Let me give you all the caveat. Let me give you all some insight. You motion your best player or one of your most dynamic weapons in the open field. Because when you move that player and motion that player from left to right, that's what makes the defense react. You always motion the player that the defense keys on. You use him as a decoy. People will say, I know when I said decoy, some people got triggered because they used to say Kevin Stefanski was using Odell as a decoy. That's what the fuck you're supposed to do. That don't mean he's still not gonna get the ball. But in order to sometimes get your main weapon the ball, you have to make somebody else seem like a main weapon. And after they get two or three passes, two or three catches, two or three good plays, now guess what happens? Your main weapon gets one-on-one coverage. That's just good scheme in football. This is one-on-one. But I think Shador is here to stay. I think the future of the cute quarterback room in Cleveland is Deshaun Watson, Shador Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel. Okay, Shador, I don't want you to play this year, bro, and not because I don't want to see you play, because I don't want to see them play with your life like that. Cleveland don't got no offensive tackles worth playing, and I don't think you should have to go through that type of drama. Even though you're used to not playing with a good line, I don't think you should have to come to the NFL and play like that. I think they should give you some more pieces on that line that you can actually trust. Cleveland don't got a number one receiver, and I feel like you do really well when you got a number one guy that you can lean on. Clyde Shador. Earlier today, I rewatched Shador at Colorado versus Caleb at USC. Both threw 5 touchdowns. Hey, and you know what's so crazy? Caleb didn't have a good line in college either, but Caleb went to USC. So let me ask something about Shador too, for the fans. People wonder why Dylan Gabriel is charted ahead of Shador, even though talent wise, we see there's a big gap difference between what Shador can really do and where Dylan is ceiling that. Okay, I know y'all may not like it, but just let me provide some context. Okay, Dylan Gabriel played 6 years of D1 football. Shador Sanders only played two. Why does that matter? Because that means Dylan Gabriel went through 6 years of football of NFL football terminology. Shador Sanders did not have NFL football terminology in his college career. So just translating, right, is like going from learning English to learning Spanish, or going from Spanish to French. When you go from one dialect to another vernacular, okay, it takes time to process that, because the way you learn it is not going the way you end up understanding it. And the understanding is more valuable than the learning. Because I could teach you something all day and you could repeat, rinse, and reuse it. But if you don't understand its value or why we do certain things a certain way at a certain time, then you're not getting the full concept of how to utilize it. All right. So just on being able to read the play and tell it to the guys in the huddle, Dylan does that well. Okay. Dylan can process information well. He can look at a play and say, okay, this ain't right, this ain't right, this ain't right. I only got about 3 seconds to throw the ball. That's prototype QB play. Again, why he's ahead of Shador? Because Shador doesn't have that. Shador has a it factor. Shador can process information. He definitely can. But he has to be able to translate that to grown men. That takes time. I think he's probably got it by now because he's been here since the draft. He's put in extra work. So I'm not saying that we see. I think he's probably got it down by now. I think he's a highly intelligent young man, and I don't think it took him beautiful. You're right. Daddy about to finish up his podcast. Okay, as soon as he get finished, we gonna come play. Okay. All right. What you eating? You eat hot dogs? Okay. Go ahead, wipe your face real quick. Okay, baby. You got some stuff on. All right. Go get the napkin. I'm gonna wipe your face. Okay. Send me a napkin. So in the Carolina game, it was.
You clicked out for a minute, right?
I did. Oh, that's cool. I was
Yeah,
talking to my baby.
here. I'm talking about like
That's
disappear.
cool.
Yep.
Oh, for real? I didn't. Hey, look, the universe is looking out for me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you went off the screen and everything.
Okay, her. So I'm back now, right? We good?
Yeah, I forgot where you stopped.
Mm-hmm. You good? All right, baby. Go throw that away, okay? Okay, so.
You were saying Shador ready.
Okay, yeah, so. Oh, for real? Okay. So, Shador. Demetrius says, explain the Carolina game. Okay. The Carolina game was fake. All right. I love the universe. A lot of people are religious, so I'm just going to correlate. Okay. Where some people say Jesus, or they say Allah, or they say Buddha, or they say Jehovah, I say the universe. It's the same thing. All right. I just say the universe. I just don't. We ain't gonna get into all that, but I just want you to know it's the universe. I say the universe, and the universe was just at play. All right, because what we got to see from Shador was what I said, a gunslinger who can read defenses. Now, my problem with Shador in that game is he was able to manipulate the pocket and he was able to do quite a few things that I liked. Okay. But he still had those times where Shador drops back. Shador drops back too far in the pocket. All right. It's a three-step drop, Shador. If it's a three-step or a five-step, that don't mean if it's a three-step, that don't mean take five. That means take three. And when you get right there, you manipulate the pocket side to side, not backwards. That's one thing I don't like that Shador does. He's always stepping backwards. No. Okay? Let me tell you how I was taught the game and how I learned the game. Whenever you make a move, whenever you're trying to, it should always go forward. If you're a running back or a position player and you do juke moves, if your juke move don't end with you still moving forward, it's not a good juke move. It's okay. It's okay. It's not a good juke move. We play the game north and south, not east and west. Period. All right. So, but he showed everything I wanted to see. He could fit it in between spaces. He can process routes. He can manipulate defenders and put his receivers in a position to catch the ball. Hold on, baby. Oh, here, right here. Paw Patrol right here, baby. Go ahead and take that one, baby. Okay. See you later. So, uh, you know, like I say, he can manipulate defenders with his eyes. He can move the pocket. All right, but when you play 4 years of getting hunted and not having having bad offensive linemen, those intangible traits, Trent, they follow you. So this is why I don't want him in there with the Browns with a subpar offensive line. I ain't saying it's got to be stellar. I'm just saying it's got to be better than this. The Browns are for sale. $10 in an envelope. The universe in the Bible. Shador is mentioned in the book of Numbers. Shador is the seed of 12 tribes of Israel. In Hebrew, Shador means fields of light. Again, you heard me. Hey, first off, Clyde, bro, it is a pleasure to meet you, bro. I ain't met you through text, but it's a pleasure to meet you. I really enjoy the way that that you articulate your thoughts and how you correlate them to things. I I know it's only a few responses, but I catch on quick. That's fire. I like that. Shador doesn't need to play; he will get hurt. Yep. Again, KP from KC5 say so. I don't. Again, I like Shador. I think he has all the tools to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. I do think he has a few things that could hinder him, and I think because of the Browns' history, I don't like the way those mesh. So I prefer him to sit. Now, I will say this as a caveat, right? Look at how things going now, because again, we going for what I prefer to what I'm analyzing. I think will happen. If Dylan Gabriel wets the bed, Shador will be named the starting quarterback going into the bye week and coming out of the bye week.
Bruh, if Dylan Gabriel have a bad first quarter, you already know how they go be down at that stadium.
But listen, his bad first quarter got to be epic, bro. Dylan got to come out in the first quarter and throw three interceptions, bro. All right. To his credit, he ain't threw an interception yet, so you don't get that off. All right.
You know they thirsty down there, man. He throw one, it's a wrap.
He thought it depends though. It depends because if he get the like Joe Flacco's first two interceptions was not on Joe Flacco. I don't care how nobody. Listen, bro. The ball bounced off Judy's hands into a cornerback's hands, bro. That's not on a quarterback. Cedric Tillman caught the ball falling, popped out, and then jumped right into the bro. That is not on the quarterback. So if Dylan Gabriel has an interception like that, I am not on his heels about that. I am not going to condemn him for something that he cannot control. But if he do that BS that we just seen him do, and them 8 plays that we showed y'all earlier in the podcast, yeah, bro, you got to sit down. Now, for context, and shout out, man. I had a homie come up here. That's from was it Alpha? I think his name was Alpha. Shout out to Alpha, bro. It'd be nice to get you back up here. I'm gonna tell you all my whole view of the room before the season started. I said I'm a Bengals fan and watching Flacco with Chase is wild. Flacco is in receiver heaven. He is in receiver heaven. We'll get to that comment in a second, KP. Hold on. So my view was Dylan Gabriel is Kellen Moore. He's Jason Garrett. He is the guy, he's the clipboard guy who has a very bright future as an offensive coordinator. That's how I see Dylan Gabriel. That to me, this sums up his whole career, bro. You can process information, but being able to process information and translate it physically is two different things. Do I think you could become a Doug Flutie at some point? You could maybe become a Jeff Garcia. It's possible. I don't know about Drew Brees. I don't know about you being on Drew Brees. I don't know. I think if you had a little more risk taken to his game, if Dylan Gabriel had a little more risk taken to his game, you could probably see that. But you've been the same quarterback for 6 years, bro. I have no reason to believe you're going to change. Okay, I believe you can add stuff to your game. It's hard for me to believe that you could fundamentally change it. All right. So I've always seen Dylan Gabriel as the emergency third quarterback, the clipboard guy, the guy that helps the quarterback get ready for the game and teaches the intangibles that he knows about manipulating the pocket to the guys who's actually playing. I felt like Shador's the future. All right. I hope Shador sits the first 2 years. We gonna get to why I say that in a second. Hold on, but I said I hope he sits the first 2 years. I feel like Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders complement each other. Shador does things well that Dylan don't do, and Dylan does things well that Shador doesn't do. And them together make a nice combination of something elite. All right, they make together something elite. So keeping them together, growing them together, for me is a thing. Regardless of who you feel like should start or not, those two complement each other. And being in this chaotic atmosphere of Cleveland, I think that's great for them. Bottom line. But make no mistake about this, y'all. Deshaun Watson will be the quarterback next year. Make no mistake about this. Deshaun Watson will be the quarterback next year. And this is leads to why I said I wanted Shador to sit for 2 years. We're still rebuilding or renovating the offense. And it's only renovating at first because certain pieces are here in place. The tight end, the two guards, the center. We knew those was in place. Veteran guys. The backup running back is in place. All Cleveland ever needed on offense was number one. They needed the number one quarterback, they needed the number one running back, they needed the number one receiver. All right. And now they need two tackles. They just missing number one. As far as role players, and this has been Cleveland's history for as long as I can remember. Cleveland always keep great role players, fire role players. They just don't have no number ones. But now we got a Quinshawn. We got a Deshaun and a Shador. You got a David Njoku. I think those are good number ones. You got a Miles on defense, a Denzel Ward, a Grant Delpit. You got a Charles Schlesinger. You got a Malik Collins. You got number ones. Okay? Now it's about, once you establish your number ones, about making sure that your number twos complement your number one. All right? And I said, Shador can sit this year. Shador can sit next year, right? Because at that point, Deshaun Watson will have 2 years left on his deal. Next year, I think he'll have 2 years. So he can play that year. And for me, y'all just spent $300 million. You don't want to get nothing back on your return? Listen, for $300 million, bro, I got to get something on my return. I can't just take the total loss. I don't care what nobody say. I got to get something back on my return. I'll give Deshaun Watson leeway. He came to the team injured and under a lot of stress and controversy. I don't expect no human being to perform at elite level under those conditions. I just don't, bro. It's just unrealistic. All right. He showed flashes. He showed what he could do. And he showed what he could do in this Stefanski offense when it's wild. The season is still should have. At least try to win. If you draft a QB in the okay, so the Browns are not drafting a QB, Demetrius. Let me tell you. They're not drafting a QB. Let me tell you what Jimmy on. Again, and again say this. When y'all think about decisions Cleveland makes as an organization, understand that Jimmy Haslam is making the decisions. So you have, in my opinion, it benefits your point of view by considering what Jimmy would do. It benefits you a lot, and it asks you a lot more context. You feel me? In my opinion, okay. Jimmy traded his second overall pick this year for the fifth pick, another second round pick, a fourth round pick, and number one next year. What's Jacksonville record right now? 4-1, 5-1, 4-2, 5-1. Which means there's a good chance that Jacksonville's pick is going to be 15 or higher. Yes, you all, they're tanking. Yes, they're tanking. The only reason that I don't have a serious issue with the tank is because a lot of players aren't healthy. I don't think Denzel Ward is fully healthy. I don't think Miles Garrett is fully healthy. Okay? And JOK is still not back, right? How many of us would love to see Charles Schlesinger with JOK? How many of us are drooling to see Jeremiah Owusu Cormora with Charles Schlesinger. A lot of us. All right. Again, they don't have tackles. And with Jacksonville doing well, you can't say, well, at least that pick will be in the top 10. No. The Browns need a top 10 pick. I'm sorry. I know that's some bullshit. I know y'all don't like it, bro, but it is reality. The Browns not contending for no Super Bowl. And to me, it makes no sense if they're not contending for a Super Bowl because don't nobody want to see nothing else. Now, this the fan coming out of me, okay? I don't want to see them compete for no motherfucking playoff spot. I don't give a fuck about y'all making the playoffs. I want to see y'all compete for a title. I want to know you can't bet against Cleveland everything if they're tanking. Well, listen, okay, so let's get into the art of tanking. Okay? Tanking is just playing what's available and playing the
We,
long game.
we tanked the year that we ain't win none of them games.
Oh, last year? No, last year. Okay.
Talking about was that Hugh or was that
Oh
who was
yeah,
that?
when they did the 1-16 and one, but listen though, right? When Jimmy tanked with you, the books was fucked up. Now I need y'all to understand that the Browns were in cap hell. 2014 through 2017, the Browns were in cap hell. You don't got no stars on your team, and you don't got no money to get no stars. That's why they didn't re-sign Alex Mack. That's why Travis Benjamin got to go to Sean Gibson. Yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm. This is why all of those guys got to walk. Dante Whitner, that's why all those guys got to walk because the Browns were in cap hell. And sometimes you know what they say, man. To rebuild, you got to destroy. It's not right. It's not fair. I'm not saying that it is, bro. I'm just providing the context. Okay, they were in cap hell. Had the Browns not did what they did those 2 years, you don't get where you're at now. You're not in a position to get a Miles and re-sign him. You're not in a position to draft a Denzel and re-sign him. You're not in a position to draft a Del Pitt and re-sign him, or re-sign a Batonio or a Teller. You're not because the books were that bad. And Jimmy, as of last year, realized that he's about to put himself in the same position if he fires his current regime. Jimmy is still paying Hugh Jackson. If you don't know, Hugh Jackson is still getting paid from the Browns. Okay, John Dorsey is still getting paid from the Browns. Greg Williams is still getting paid from the Browns. Todd Haley is still getting paid for the Browns. That sounds crazy, don't it? None of those guys are here. They're still getting paid. Okay, Baker not still getting paid by the Browns. Joe Flacco contract just got traded away, but they're still paying DTR. They're still paying some of his contract, and a few other quarterbacks that are not on the team. They're still paying those guys. I don't care what you're trying to do in this world. If you don't have the money flexibility, you are limited. Okay, provides context into why Andrew Berry does the contract the way he does it. This is why when they re-sign guys or they bring guys in, their signing bonus is incredible. Because if I pay you the money up front, I don't have to pay you a lot annually. I can get off with your contract, base contract being $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million. Because now if I need to make a move, I have the cap flexibility to make a move. The only person that they couldn't pull that off with in the beginning was Deshaun Watson. And that's why another reason why Jimmy had to come out and say, bro, yeah, it was me. Because you by doing that, you messed up the plan. Damn. You messed up the plan that Andrew Berry had in place to be able to use that money to bring in more players. You fucked that up. So now he has to counteract what you did. At the same token, though, I'm not mad that they got Deshaun, bro. Y'all can be mad. I ain't mad.
Nah,
Deshaun Watson is still one of the most talented.
Jimmy go. He he made some bad decisions trying to get trying to get people in here, but he go spend
Yeah,
that
that's
bag.
it.
He go spend that bag to try to get this damn thing right, and that's what a lot of owners that we had in this bitch want to do. Like shit. If you want to come to this bitch, I'll pay you. You want to stay here, I'll pay you. This shit. That's one thing about him.
I just got an ESPN report that correlates to Andrew Berry and the Browns. A former wide receiver for the Browns, David Bell, announces his retirement, citing that he was blindsided by an off field injury. So he will no longer be playing professional football. I mean, it's probably not big news, but for Cleveland fans who talk about these draft picks ain't working out, I need y'all to understand that nobody knows how each draft pick gonna turn out, bro. It's multiple regimes that have drafted top 10 players that didn't pan out. Now I understand that the Browns is big on that list in the previous years. All right, but not now. Right now, the Browns got a super talented team, bro. I don't care what y'all talking about. Emerson hurt and JOK hurt. That's a thing. Ronnie Hickman, for people who talk about they don't develop, Ronnie Hickman was picked up by us as an undrafted free agent, and he's doing quite well. Martin Emerson was a third round pick, and he's considered one of the better corners in the league. Okay? Now people say, oh, that's defense. What about offense? Well, we ain't got there yet. But if you're telling me Quinshawn Junkins, Isaiah Bond, Dylan Sampson, and Harold Fannin aren't talented prospects or young players, this is not a conversation I can have with you. Because now you're just not being realistic. Okay? And the fact that he was able to get four of them in one draft, plus his future quarterback, starting quarterback, and future backup quarterback, bro, don't know no team does that. No team does that, bro. That's an anomaly. Shout out to Andrew Berry. We appreciate you, bro. And you only 38, bro. I could imagine the type of monster you're gonna be by the time you're 41. So I don't never want you to leave Cleveland, bro. And for those that don't know,
I've been
Kevin
preaching
and
it for years. I've been preaching it for years. Like, man, do y'all understand how young this dude is, man? I've been saying it, like, bro. When I found out how old he was when he first got hired, I've been saying it, like, bro. When if Browns let him go, bro, he done been through the storm. He got better every year, man. And cold with them damn books. You feel me? Like,
Cole with them books.
look,
Cole with them books.
and he's starting to getting first round draft picks. So now he just finally got him some first round draft picks. We got heat next year. Let's see what he gonna do next year in that draft.
No, bro, his undrafted free agency picked up game fire too.
Undrafted and he's undrafted. A lot of people,
What?
man. A lot of players you already know. There's a lot of players in the preseason that don't make the team. That I'll be like, damn, man, like, bruh, that's some undrafted that and some of them end up coming back. Like you said, Emerson, man. Emerson, what was he?
Third round pick.
And man, he turned up. He went down that shit bad. That shit
No, for real.
But,
And listen, we got Tyson Campbell. Listen, I understand that Tyson Campbell is a slot corner. And he's only playing the second corner right now because Emerson is hurt. Please don't forget that. Okay? Devin Bush, who was a former Pittsburgh Steeler, injured his leg, his knee, blew out his knee against us. And he was considered one of the best linebackers in the league. Remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers moved up almost 15 draft spots to draft this man outside the tight 10. Right outside, I think he was number 11 that year. Okay? It takes a few years to recover from a knee injury. If you ain't never had a knee injury, you don't understand. If you had a below the hip injury, you don't understand. Okay? This shit takes time. It takes you a few years to get back right. Everybody can't be Adrian Peterson, bro. Everybody can't be Nick Chubb. Everybody can't be Odell, bro. It's just those are anomalies. I appreciate that, Clyde, for sure, for sure. And I love the team, but bro, I can't argue with facts and knowledge, bro. I appreciate that, man. Definitely bring your friends by, tell them come through, because we can always chop it, man. I love the game. I love the game, y'all. I love the game. All right. I'm gonna try to call a spade as much as possible, but feel free to call me out on my BS. If I ain't talking right and I ain't got, I'll tell you. But usually I'm pretty good at trying to differentiate. Hey, this is what's going on, and this is just how I feel. But I appreciate you, Clyde. I appreciate the insight too, my guy, for sure. Um, but I just think the Browns are in a good position, and they've been right now. They're in a better position than they've ever been in my entire lifetime. Okay, I really think that we have a chance in the 2020s to see what the Paul Brown experience was like for our elders, for our great grandparents and their parents, or our grandparents and great grandparents and their parents, when they got to watch Doug Deacon with Otto Graham and Ernest Green and all them. Like, I think we are on the cusp of being able to see that. You know why? Because the day is always darkest right before dawn. Okay? Right before the shit goes to beautiful, it always looks horrible. It's just how it works. It's just
I
how the
know,
universe works.
I know you got to get out of here soon. Before we get out here, all right. What we got right now, season end with the picks and the shit we got right now. Andrew Berry hit you with the what we doing with these draft picks?
Okay.
Me personally, I want I want one of them big country boys on that line.
Them offensive tackles.
Give me a country boy on that line. Go up, go to Joe Thomas Town or something like that. But I definitely want to use one of them for a big boy on that O line.
Okay. This is a loaded question for me. Browns off season. Fred Evans, formerly of the Minnesota Vikings, is listening to your show. I appreciate you, Mr. Evans. It's a pleasure to have you on here. I'm looking for so the Browns have two first round picks. Um, in my opinion, Andrew, if you ask me, one of them picks got to go on the best receiver, one of the best receivers, big receivers, a true number one, and one of the best tackles in the draft. That first round, you got to give me a tackle and a receiver. I don't care nothing about no cornerbacks. I don't care about no safe, except if it's Caleb Downs. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I love Caleb. I love Caleb, bro.
You gotta tell Andrew about them damn D backs because he love him some goddamn D backs, man.
Yeah, man. I love Caleb, bro. Listen, if you could put Caleb Downs with Grant Delpit and Denzel Ward, I'm not going to be mad at you for that, bro. I promise you, bro. And I ain't saying that Caleb Downs is the only one. It's quite a few good, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying if that's the guy, you know what I'm saying, for the draft position, I ain't tripping. But if you're asking me specifically, I need an offensive tackle and a number one receiver. I do not believe.
Bruh, I got you off the screen right now, but I don't know what the hell was going on. Let me see if I put you back on, but it went to some techno music. Oh, you good?
Man, no, what happened was my phone started ringing. My
And
phone started ringing.
it turned into a it turned. No, I do not turn it to a Tecmo song. I swear that's what
My apologies. So I do not. That's crazy. Okay, it's got to go on I told Justin Fargo about your show. He's a Huggy Bear. Oh, for real? Justin played at Michigan, USC, and the Raiders. Hey, Clyde, I appreciate all that, bro. I humbly appreciate that. No, for sure, because I love the game. But yeah, I need a offensive tackle, and I need a number one receiver. I don't think the Browns should be looking at a quarterback for the next 4 seasons.
Damn. Yeah.
Period. You have Watson, Shador, and Dylan Gabriel, which means you have a right now top talent, you have a future top talent, and you got a very suitable, growable backup. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your QB room of the future. Now, Lord forbid, or universe forbid, something happens to one of them more than it already happened. But right now, between those three guys, you should not be looking to look at the quarterback room again for the next 4 seasons. You got Shador signed for 4 years. You got Dylan signed for 4 years, and or 4 or 5 years, I think. And you still got Watson's contract for 3 years. You don't need to look at the QB room. If it's one of those times if Camden can't make it work with those three guys, then we can start having a conversation. But I don't really want to hear that for another 3 4 years. Right now, you have to rebuild that offensive line. That offensive line is aging,
Robot ain't
and
no more. It sound like it sound like somebody burping, making it sound like somebody burping while you talking, like they ad lib burping like whoop, like a frog and shit, like whoop.
that's what I sound like right now. I sound bad.
You
I
sound
sound
cool,
bad.
you sound
Oh,
cool, but it's like it's like you got like his ad libs, like you got background singers like old Temptations, like Blue in them
man,
niggas.
hold on, wait. Maybe I need to turn it down. All right, and that's crazy because this is a good part right here. Like this a
Right.
really context part that I want to be able to articulate very well. Okay, the Browns need to renovate the offensive line. When it comes to a renovation, you're just replacing pieces that you already had. When you rebuild something, that means you have to
I'm
transform it.
doing it, man. I don't that called
Oh
fuck.
man, hold on, man, hold on.
That, I can't hear you now. I can't hear you now. Talk now. Nope, I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Nope, nope, nope. Saudi needed that. Needed that there. Do your thing. He'll be back. Hopefully, come back in better. What the hell are they doing outside?
Yo,
Now you straight.
there we go. Ah! Okay, let's finish this thought. All right, so let me start from the beginning again. The Browns need offensive tackles and they need wide receivers. All right. If Clyde, am I back now, bro? I'm back now. I had to go out and come back in. The complication was somebody was trying to call me and that call interfered with the broadcast. My apologies. I usually turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. I clearly missed that step before I started this broadcast, so that's my apologies. But if everybody can hear me now, give me a thumbs, give me a okay. You know what I'm saying? Give me a tough man, a
Yeah,
100,
you
just to
straight
let me
now.
know that I can hear you. All right. So when it comes to the Browns offseason, if Andrew Berry called me and he asked me, "Hey, bro, what we doing for the offseason?" Okay, I would say, "You don't need a quarterback." Between Deshaun, Shador, and Dylan Gabriel, you got a quarterback for now, a quarterback of the future, and a future backup. You should not be looking at that to do anything with that quarterback room for the next 3 to 4 seasons. I'm gonna say 4 seasons because that's my impulse feeling. 4 seasons, you should not be looking to do a QB. You got 2 first round picks. I need an offensive tackle of the future, a franchise guy, and I need a franchise #1 receiver. All
Who on
right,
your list?
please. Um, so offensive tackles, I don't want to throw them names out yet because I still have to vet these guys. All right. But as far as receivers right now, the #1 guy on my mind is Carnell Tate. Period. I'm not gonna hold you. 6'3", 200 pounds, elite route runner, in my opinion. Very, very dependable hands. That is a guy that can help with the other guys we have on the roster because when it comes to the Browns wide receiver room, I like Jamari Thrash. I think he could. I think of he could be a great slot guy. Um,
I think
I'm
he can
not
be.
mad
I
at
think he
Jerry
can be like
Judy,
D Jack. I think he can
huh?
be like D. I think he can be like D Jack almost.
Like
Go ahead.
DJ. Oh yeah, like hey, I don't know if he that fast though, but he
Yeah,
definitely shifty though.
yeah, he's shifty.
And that's James Thrash son, right? So I know he got some game to him because Thrash has some game to him. So I like what Jamari could become. I do think I appreciate that. Hey, enjoy tip that up. So I like Carnell Tate. I like Jerry Judy as a #2 receiver. So I do think Jerry Judy needs to bulk up though. I think Jerry Judy needs to add a little more weight. He can do that for me. I think his hands will be a little more sure because he'll be able to take some of these hits. I understand that he a speed guy, but bro, your route running already fire. Your feet, your technique is already good, bro. I just need you to get a little bit more weight. And I think that'll help you with some of these drops, in my opinion. But you get Tate with Judy, Thrash. Come on, man, you got something. Hey, I like Gabe Labardian. I like Gabe, and I ain't forget about Isaiah Bond. But I'm gonna tell you what I like about Isaiah Bond. Isaiah Bond, to me, gives me Percy Harvin, Debo Samuel vibes. All right. Um, I think that is a guy that you should be moving around the offense to create mismatches. His speed and athleticism alone is a mismatch for any linebacker. I am big on mismatches. I've heard people call Kyle Shanahan the king of the mismatch, and I understand that because that's how I look at football from an offensive standpoint. I'm always trying to get my best weapon on your worst defender. It ain't about being scared. It's about playing football, bro. My job is to get positive yards. If you don't want me putting my best player on your worst defender, then you shouldn't have a worst defender. It ain't my job to help you out. It's my job to get the most out of what I have. So I like Isaiah Bond as a chess piece. Do I think he could grow into a #2 receiver? Absolutely, especially playing around Judy because Judy gonna help him with his route running. And I think Jamari Thrash, he gonna help him on the competition side. But I like Tate. I don't have offensive tackle names yet, so I ain't gonna say those. But I do think outside of those two, when you get to the subliminal, there's a reason why Jerry Judy dropped a tackle. Hey man, a little weight help. Hey, if you think you can't take a hit, then bruh, you around all the weights, you around the eating regimen, you around, you know what I'm saying, like the workouts, bro, you could do it. I understand
I
people.
gotta look at them because some of them he ain't even had nobody on him. He probably heard footsteps. You know what I'm saying? So he might have needed to eat. He might have been hungry, but he a lot of them, bro. He wasn't getting hit. He just dropping that bitch. He had open burnouts.
Well, so I'm gonna tell you something. So shout out to
It ain't like
OTC.
he, it ain't
Shout
like
out
he
to
went
my
in the middle. What Michael Irvin said in the middle with that pain.
the Hey, so check it. One of my homies. I want to say it was either JL or JL. It could have been X, but one of my homies. It could have been Marshawn. It's a lot of guys. Shout out to Off the Clock. They're my guys, right? And this is a Twitter group. camaraderie that we got on the that I've been allowed to be a part of on the Twitter space side. And this this tidbit about Jerry Judy I thought was very accurate. Jerry Judy is a guy you catch on a breakaway, right? If he's leaving a guy or he's ahead of a guy, there's a good chance he's going to catch that ball 9 out of 10 times. But if you want him to go over the middle, if you look at him to do quick slant, there's a good chance that he's probably going to drop that ball. Yes, baby? We're taking my goats. Where? Oh, wait, hold on 1 second, okay? Take it. You take it? You want to go back to Paw Patrol? No. They take it. They take it? See? That's good. Okay, come on. Yes, mama. You can come up here. All right. So, yeah, I do think, no, it's for Shador. So you saying he don't want to catch passes from nobody that's not Shador Sanders. All right. You know what, bro? You know what, Clyde? It's possible. I can't even knock you on that, right? Because I've seen before players perform better because they want to play with a certain guy. Now I do think that a lot of the Browns fans right now and a lot of the players in that locker room want to play with Shador. I don't think that's debatable. I think a lot of the vets they want to play. If nothing else, bro, of course they want to play with an offspring of Deion Sanders. Let's not act like Deion Sanders ain't is not one of the most talented players to ever bless a football field, or one of the most athletic guys to bless sports.
You
Okay.
already getting them the exclusive cleats staying there looking like big ass cleats. You know what I'm saying? For real.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like though, again, the Browns have he will do it for Shador. He's a for Shador, yes. All right, so again, like I say, if it's up to me, I sit Shador, but realistically, Dylan Gabriel got 2 games, and I think it's better because the Browns bye week is halfway through the season. I just think it bodes better to let Dylan, you know, write his own ticket off for right now because there's nothing wrong with Dylan playing and then having to sit back. It's only them two in the quarterback room. It's really only them two. People keep bringing up Billy Zappi or Bailey Zappi. I think it's his baby. But
And that's what people gotta understand. Like Dylan gotta win in downtown Cleveland, or he go here. No matter
especially after
downtown Cleveland. Brown fans just want to win, you know what I'm saying? But they want to keep the door. But as long as you win it, you can keep the wolves off for you for a minute. But bro, once
no, for real.
y'all go see.
I understand. A Browns fan. Hey man, I've been a Browns fan my whole life. Hey, listen, I'm a loyalist, okay? It's Cleveland over everybody for me. For those who don't understand, I am a loyalist, bro. I am a diehard Browns fan, Cavalier fan, Guardian / Indian the Tribe fan. I'm a Lake Erie monster, and I'm I'm an Ohio State Buckeye. Don't get it twisted. I love my Buckeyes. I don't even see nobody else. I love my Buckeyes. Even though I do got a special place in my heart for Notre Dame. I ain't gonna lie, that's one of my side squads. I like Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? And I got a soft place in my heart for Texas because I was a big Ricky Williams fan. All right. And they used to have a quarterback named James Brown that a lot of people don't remember, but I love them. The only other college that touched me as a kid was Nebraska when they had Tommy Frazier with Lawrence Phillips, and then they followed up with Eric Crouch and Scott Frost, and I was big on watching them then. They had my boy Ahmad Green came from there, and but like I said, I love the game. But for the Browns right now, they have a lot of talent in place. I think that wide receiver room just needs a number one. As far as the running back room, I'm really okay with Judkins, Ford, and Sampson. I don't know why people are so against Jerome Ford, but I really feel like Jerome Ford complements Quinshawn Junkins more than people realize. All right, and I like those two together, and I like Sampson coming in as a spellback because when you get him in space, he can make things happen. In my opinion, though, Sampson ain't big enough. He a little too little. All right, and I don't want my running back, third running back, fourth running back. I don't want my running back out there getting murdered. All right. In 2006, I was on CBS. I defended Vince Young, who I know. They said he can't throw. I said he threw over 200 yards against USC. No, so check it. First off, that might have been one of the most exciting years of college football that I remember. Okay? Yeah. Ford, hey, Adam, for sure. Ford fire. So Vince and Reggie Bush with Lindell White and man, listen, I liked it Vince Young too. I thought Vince Young got a raw deal in the NFL. But I also think the NFL just as a culture, as a design entity, it is now getting more comfortable with uber athletic quarterbacks. You know what I mean? And I think at one point in the NFL, they believed that uber athletic quarterbacks could not play pocket passer. And I appreciate a guy like Patrick Mahomes who just defies all of that. I can appreciate it. I ain't saying it wasn't guys before him who showed it, like Mike Vick, you know what I mean, and guys before that, Dante Cole. There's a few guys, but I like what Patrick Mahomes does, and I think he really solidifies the fact him and Lamar Jackson. Let me not forget Lamar, and let me not forget Josh because Josh athletic too. But we did have a Cam Newton before, but Cam still got a raw deal. All right, I think people still undervalue what Cam Newton really brought to the league, and you know what? I probably should say him before Patrick Mahomes really showed like what a uber athletic quarterback can do when you let him rock out. You know what I mean? As we say, let him rock out. Let him do what he do. You know what I'm saying? So I like our running back room. I hope that they keep Ford paired with Quinshawn as Ford is a guy who played with Nick Chubb. Okay, so by the fact that he played with Nick Chubb, there's some things Matt Liner said, I did not study the playbook. I party and I'm a sorry Cardinals fan. They forgave him, but not Vince Young. Yeah. So I always thought Matt Liner was a little overrated. I always said Matt Liner had weak ball velocity. If he threw a deep ball, it would hang in the air, till next week. That was kind of my thing. Like, there's one thing to get some air on the ball, but the air on the ball got to have some piercing to it. Okay, this is why they say what they call it on Madden. They call Patrick Mahomes the bazooka arm, the bazooka, bro. Regardless of how far you throw it, it's got to pierce the wind. All right, and still have some accuracy to drop where you need it to drop. And I like Matt Liner as a quarterback, as a college quarterback. Okay, but he didn't work on getting his body up, and he didn't work on getting his arm strength up. And the Cardinals fell for the okie doke. Yeah, what else can I say, right? But again, in that era of football, when this that BS. All right, we're gonna get into our last thoughts, and I'm gonna go ahead and start ending it off because clearly the universe telling me I need to hurry up because I'm going to another sports show in a couple hours. Got my cats from Detroit who do their thing, and we gonna have a little chop it off there. So I'll be sharing that and bringing that. And 9 times out of 10, subscribe if you on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? It's a good chance I'm gonna be on there. I'll send another link as well because I really appreciate y'all being here. I know Jamal Charles from Texas and of Kansas City. Hey, Jamal Charles was fire. He puts me in the mind of Clinton Portis, of Chris Johnson's, CJ2K. I love Jamal Charles. So for context, my favorite two positions on the football field is running back and middle linebacker. All right, with safety being next and a receiver who can return. I like receivers, but I like slot receivers. I like receivers who could play the slot, who manipulate open field, and who can return kicks. But running back and middle linebacker, I love those two positions. Jamal Charles was deceptively great. Not deceptively good. He was deceptively a juggernaut. He was a lot stronger at the point of attack than people gave him credit for. He was a lot shiftier on the move than people gave him credit for. And you couldn't tell me he didn't run a 4.3. You can't tell me he don't run a 4.3. And he had good hands. He had good hands. Jamal Charles, I love. So back to Adam. Top two receivers, I would be for me, it would be Isaiah Bond and Jamari Thrash right now. But I ain't gonna lie. If I was Seven Stefanski too, I think he should use David Njoku as a number one receiver. I know he's a tight end, but bro, that Ninjoku is a talent that you just don't waste, man. That's a big boy. Cedric Benson, I saw him in high school. And he was Chris Sims running back. I remember Cedric Benson very well. Because he took over for Ricky Williams. Remember him very well. Again, Texas another one of my teams, like Notre Dame, but O State, that's my jam, man. I can't go against O State on my guys. So Adam, I would just go there. I would bench Judy for a game or two. If I'm going off what Clyde said, if Judy only want to catch balls for Shador, then you could sit on the bench till Shador plays. It's really that simple for me. I come from the Bill Belichick line of thinking, bro. If you can't produce, you can't play. If you can't produce, you can't play, bro. Can't get on the field for me because I'm not sending a message to the rest of my team that it's okay to underperform. We're not doing that, bro. If you miss a block, you sit on the bench. Let's get somebody else in here who wanna do what they need to do. But Jamari Thrash and Isaiah Bond will be my starting two receivers. Gage Labardian will be my slot. Period. And if I can, I would definitely prioritize getting David Njoku the most targets every game. He would be the guy that I motion. I think David Njoku is a guy that you could line up in the backfield, motion out. Like that's the right now that's the chess piece. I know I was saying Isaiah Bond has the talent for the chess piece, but I think David Njoku should be the current chess piece. And on top of that, he the vet. Like he the guy who's in sat behind all these extra number ones, bro. Prioritize him. Well, I don't, Clyde, you missed the beginning of the program. So I would definitely ask you, when you get a chance, is catch the beginning of the podcast, where I covered, Kevin Stefanski and his role and how Cleveland is ran differently than most organizations. And I think you may like the video that we showed, which kind of backed up a lot of my points. With that being said, though, DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at DeeTrynt or at Industry Sports. If you missed the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel. Like, subscribe, share, follow. When you get in there, you'll see Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly, DeeTrynt, and you should do the same there. It was a pleasure rocking with y'all today. I look forward to seeing y'all on the next program. It'll probably be tomorrow, could be Thursday, but we'll be back soon. Y'all have a great evening. Enjoy. Go Browns. And I'm looking for a good another week of football. I think on the next one we're gonna go over what we looking at in week 7 and who we think might perform the best and who might turn some heads. Let y'all be easy. Have a great one. Enjoy this time. Hey, tell David Terrell I said what up. Hey, that was the receiver. I remember him. Yee! Tell him I said what up, though. It was a pleasure having y'all up here, man. I look forward to seeing y'all. And follow me on Twitter, DeeTrynt. You'll see it with the clock in there. You'll see the logo up there with the owl. It's all good. Man, I appreciate that, man. Y'all have a great one. Please be safe. Catch y'all in a few.